What if everything you've been taught about reality is backwards? What if the world you see isn't creating your thoughts, but your thoughts are creating the world you see? Neville Goddard discovered this truth decades ago, and today, I'm going to show you why this single realization changes everything. But first, let me ask you, have you ever wondered why some people seem to manifest their desires effortlessly while others struggle for years without results? The truth about manifestation isn't what most people think. It's not about vision boards, positive thinking, or repeating affirmations until you're blue in the face. According to Neville Goddard, one of the most profound spiritual teachers of the 20th century, we've been approaching the whole thing backwards. Today, we're diving deep into why you might be struggling with awakening and manifestation, and more importantly, how to finally break through using Goddard's revolutionary understanding of consciousness. What we're about to explore isn't just another manifestation technique or spiritual practice. This is the fundamental truth about the nature of reality itself. A truth so powerful that once you truly understand it, everything in your life will begin to shift. Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like you're doing everything right, yet nothing seems to change? You've read the books, attended the seminars, practiced meditation, set your intentions, but still your reality stays stubbornly the same? You're not alone. Millions of people worldwide are struggling with this exact same issue. They're following all the manifestation rules they've been taught, yet their desired reality remains just out of reach. It's frustrating, disheartening, and can make you question whether any of this actually works. But here's what Neville Goddard understood that most modern spiritual teachers miss entirely. The reason you're struggling isn't because you're doing something wrong. It's because you're operating from a fundamental misunderstanding of how reality works. Let's look at the common approaches that actually keep people stuck. Trying to attract things from outside themselves. Believing they need to fix or improve themselves first. Thinking manifestation is about action rather than consciousness. Waiting for signs or permission from the universe. Believing in the power of external circumstances. These approaches all share one critical flaw. They assume that reality is something external to consciousness, something that needs to be changed or influenced. This assumption is the very reason why so many spiritual seekers remain stuck in cycles of trying and failing. The foundation. Consciousness is the only reality. Let's start with Goddard's most radical teaching. Consciousness is not something you have. It's what you are. And more importantly, it's the only reality there is. Everything else, the world, your body, your circumstances, these are all projections of consciousness. Think about your dreams at night. In a dream, where does the dream world exist? It exists in your consciousness, right? The buildings, the people, the situations, they all appear real while you're dreaming, but they're all projections of your consciousness. Goddard teaches that your waking reality works exactly the same way. The world that seems so real is just as much a projection of consciousness as your dreams at night. The only difference is the level of concentration and the depth of your assumption. Understanding the nature of consciousness. Before we go further, let's explore what consciousness really is. Most people think of consciousness as awareness or the ability to perceive. But Goddard's understanding goes much deeper. 1. Consciousness is creative. Every thought, feeling, and assumption is creating reality in real time. 2. Consciousness is unified. There isn't your consciousness and the world. There is only consciousness. 3. Consciousness is eternal. It exists beyond time and space. 4. Consciousness is personal. Your consciousness is God individualized as you. This understanding revolutionizes how we approach manifestation. Instead of trying to use consciousness as a tool to create reality, we recognize that consciousness is reality. The imagination-reality gap. Here's where most people get stuck. They treat their imagination as something separate from reality. They think of imagining as daydreaming or fantasizing, something pleasant but ultimately not real. Goddard completely reverses this understanding. He teaches that your imagination is the reality, and what you see in the physical world is just the shadow or echo of past imaginative acts. This is why traditional manifestation techniques often fail. They treat imagination as a tool to influence reality, when imagination is reality. Let me give you a practical example. When you want to manifest something, let's say a new job, most approaches tell you to visualize having that job while maintaining awareness that you don't currently have it. This creates an internal conflict, a split in consciousness that actually prevents manifestation. Goddard's approach is radically different. He teaches that when you imagine, you must completely abandon the reality of your current circumstances. Instead of trying to use imagination to change reality, you accept imagination as reality. The power of present tense consciousness. One of the most transformative aspects of Goddard's teaching is the emphasis on present tense consciousness. Most manifestation approaches focus on the future, what you want to attract or create. But Goddard teaches that the only creative power is now. When you imagine something as happening in the future, you ensure it always remains in the future. This is why affirmations like, "I will be successful," or "I am going to be wealthy" often fail. They place the desire perpetually out of reach. Instead, Goddard teaches us to assume the state of fulfillment now. Instead of, "I will be successful," assume, "I am successful." Instead of, "I want to be healthy," assume, "I am healthy." Instead of, "I hope to find love," assume, "I am deeply loved." The state of consciousness principle. One of Goddard's most powerful insights is about states of consciousness. He teaches that everything in your life, every circumstance, relationship, and experience, is the result of your state of consciousness. Think of states of consciousness like rooms in a vast mansion. Each room represents a different state. Wealth, poverty, health, sickness, love, loneliness. Your external experience always matches the room or state you're occupying in consciousness. The key breakthrough comes when you realize you can move between these states at will. You don't have to gradually improve your circumstances. You can simply choose to occupy a different state of consciousness, and your external reality must conform to match it. Understanding states of consciousness. Let's dive deeper into how states work. 1. States are complete. Each state contains everything necessary for its expression. 2. States are available. All states exist now and are accessible. 3. States are natural. When properly assumed, a state feels natural, not forced. 4. States are independent. You don't need to change one state to access another. The law of assumption. This brings us to what Goddard considered his most important teaching, the law of assumption. This law states that whatever you assume to be true, whatever state you occupy in your imagination as if it were true, must manifest in your external reality. The crucial word here is assume. It's not about believing, hoping, or wishing. It's about assuming, completely embracing a state as if it were already true. When you truly assume a state, you don't try to make it happen. You live from the assumption that it has already happened. The 4 stages of assumption. 1. Recognition, identifying the state you wish to embody. 2. Assumption, taking on the state as if it were already true. 3. Persistence, maintaining the assumption despite contrary evidence. 4. Manifestation, the natural expression of the assumed state. Practical application of the law of assumption. Let's break this down with another practical example. If you want to manifest financial abundance, most approaches tell you to visualize having money, repeat affirmations about wealth, or focus on attracting money. Goddard's approach is entirely different. 1. First, you must identify the state of consciousness of the person who already has what you desire. How does a financially abundant person think? How do they feel? How do they perceive the world? 2. Instead of trying to attract money, you simply assume the state of consciousness of already being financially abundant. You live, think, and feel from that state. 3. You don't worry about how it will manifest. That's not your job. Your only job is to maintain the assumption of already being in that state. Advanced understanding of manifestation. Now let's explore some deeper aspects of manifestation that Goddard taught. 1. The law of reversibility. Every physical action has a mental counterpart. Every mental action has a physical counterpart. By deliberately engaging in the mental action, you create the physical result. 2. The pruning shears of revision. You can revise past events in imagination. The revised version replaces the original in consciousness. This changes both your present and future experience. 3. The sphere of influence. Your consciousness affects everything in your world. Others appear according to your assumption of them. You are responsible for how you experience everyone and everything. The power of first-person experience. Here's another crucial distinction that sets Goddard's teaching apart. He emphasizes the importance of first-person experience in your imaginative acts. It's not enough to visualize success from a third-person perspective, watching yourself succeed like a movie. You must experience your desired state in first person, with all the sensory vividness and emotional feeling of it being present now. This is what Goddard calls living from the end. The sleep technique. One of Goddard's most powerful practical techniques involves using the natural sleep state to impress desired states upon your subconscious mind. He taught that the moments before sleep are crucial because your conscious mind is relaxed and your subconscious is most receptive. The technique is simple but profound. 1. As you lie in bed, completely relax your body. 2. Close your eyes and imagine a scene that implies your desire is already fulfilled. 3. Experience this scene in first person with all your senses. 4. Feel the naturalness and reality of it. 5. Hold this scene until you fall asleep. Advanced sleep technique applications. 1. The congratulatory scene. Imagine friends congratulating you on your achievement. Hear their specific words and feel their genuine joy. Feel your own natural response to their congratulations. 2. The evidence scene. Construct a scene that implies your desire is already fulfilled. Include specific details that could only be true if your desire were realized. Feel the naturalness and relief of it being done. 3. The retrospective scene. Imagine looking back on the fulfillment of your desire. Include specific details about how it unfolded. Feel the satisfaction of it being a past fact. Common pitfalls and how to avoid them. Now, let's address some common reasons why people struggle with these teachings. 1. Mental diet. Many people do their imaginal work but then spend the rest of their day reacting to and affirming their current circumstances. Remember, what you're doing all day is just as important as your dedicated practice time. 2. Looking for signs. Constantly checking for evidence of your manifestation actually affirms its absence. This is a form of doubt that can delay or prevent manifestation. 3. Trying too hard. Manifestation isn't about effort or force. It's about allowing and assuming. The more you try to make something happen, the more you affirm it isn't already done. 4. Time expectations. Setting deadlines or becoming anxious about when something will manifest creates resistance. Trust in the perfect unfolding of your assumption. Advanced troubleshooting. 1. Dealing with doubt. Recognize doubt as just another state. Don't fight doubt, simply return to your desired assumption. Understanding that doubt doesn't negate your assumption. 2. Handling conflicting desires. Identify the core state you want to embody. Focus on the essence rather than specific forms. Allow the manifestation to unfold in its perfect way. 3. Managing physical evidence. Remember that physical reality is past manifestation. Don't give power to current circumstances. Maintain your assumption despite contrary evidence. Here's the profound truth that ties everything together. You are not trying to change anything. You are not trying to attract anything. You are not trying to manifest anything. Why? because everything already exists in infinite potential within your consciousness. As Goddard said, all things exist in the human imagination. When you truly understand this, you realize that manifestation is not about creating something new, it's about selecting which reality you choose to experience from the infinite realities that already exist within you. This is the moment everything changes. When you truly grasp that your consciousness is the only reality, that everything you could ever want already exists within you, the struggle falls away. You no longer need to try to manifest, you simply need to assume the state of consciousness where your desire already exists. Remember these powerful words from Goddard. An assumption, though false, if persisted in, will harden into fact. Your job is not to make things happen. Your job is simply to assume the state of consciousness where what you desire is already yours. The ultimate understanding. Let's bring together the deepest aspects of Goddard's teaching. 1. You are not seeking something outside yourself. 2. You are not becoming something you're not. 3. You are recognizing what you already are. 4. You are expressing what is already within you. This understanding dissolves the seeker's journey and reveals the truth. You are the reality you seek. Your consciousness is the source of all that appears to be. Let's bring everything we've covered together. Consciousness is the only reality. Your external world is a projection of your state of consciousness. You can move between states of consciousness at will. The law of assumption states that what you assume as true must manifest. Living from the end in first-person experience is key. The sleep technique is a powerful tool for impressing the subconscious. Avoid common pitfalls like excessive effort and looking for signs. The reason you may have been struggling with awakening and manifestation is that you've been trying to change reality from the outside in. But now you understand that true change happens from the inside out by assuming the state of consciousness where your desires already exist. Final integration. Remember these key principles as you move forward. 1. Your consciousness is God individualized as you. 2. Everything you desire already exists within you. 3. Your assumption persisted in becomes your reality. 4. The present moment is your point of creative power. 5. You are free to choose any state of consciousness. If you found these teachings of Neville Goddard valuable, make sure to subscribe for more videos exploring the depths of consciousness and manifestation. Together, we'll continue to unlock the infinite potential that exists within you. Click the notification bell to be alerted when we release new videos diving even deeper into these transformative teachings.